Welcome learners to Form 3 Mathematics. Let us look at formula. We look at a question here which was tested in 2016. You are told to make S the subject of this formula. Make S the subject of the formula. So you have W is equals to cube root. This is cube root, learner, of cube root of S plus T divided by S. So the first thing that you do here, learner, is to remove this cube root sign. How do you remove it? You cube both sides. Cube both sides. To remove the cube root sign, cube both sides. So you cube here, look at that, and you also cube this other side. So the cube root sign goes, and therefore you are left with W cubed is equals to S plus T over S. From there, learner, cross multiply like that. So you get W cubed S is equals to S plus T. Remember, we want to make S the subject of the formula, and now we have it here and on this other side. So bring these terms with S's together. Bring S on this side, so you get W's cubed S. This becomes minus S is equals to T. So we have the two terms here with S. Factor out S, learner. Factor out S from here. You'll be left with W cubed minus what? S divided by S gives you 1 there. Look at that. This divided by this gives you W cubed. This divided by this gives you 1 is equals to T. And therefore, what is your S? Divide both sides with this bracket here. Divide by W cubed minus 1. Divide by W cubed minus 1. This cancels out, learner. And therefore, you are left with what? You are left with S is equals to T over W cubed minus 1. And this is your answer. Okay? We go to another one here, learner, which was tested in year 2006. You're also told to make S the subject of the formula. This S here, make it the subject of the formula. Just like we have done up here, the first thing is to remove these root signs. These are square root signs. How do we remove them? To remove square root sign, you square both sides. Square both sides. That is the first thing that you do. So you square here, learner, look at that. You square your R, because it is multiplying this, and you square this, like that. Square both sides. So squaring these, the root sign disappears, you are left with the P. This is R squared. Then you square the whole of this, so this root disappears, and therefore what you will be left with is a bracket. Once the square root is removed by squaring, you fix everything in brackets. So what else do we do to this? We talk of P is equals to, remove this bracket, you get R squared minus, multiply by this, R squared AS squared. Remember, we want to make S the subject of the formula. So from there, learner, take the whole of this term to this other side, and so what will you have? So take this to this side and P to this other side. So taking this, it becomes positive. Look at that, learner. Taking that, it becomes positive. So you have R squared AS is equals to R squared, then you bring P on this side, it becomes minus P. We take this to this side, take this to this side, so we get that. So how do we get our S? Divide both sides by R squared A. R squared A, so that it cancels out with that. Divide by R squared A. So this disappears. And so you are left with what? Remember, it had a square here, learner. So when this cancel out, you are left with S squared is equals to R squared minus P over R squared A. Okay, so there now we have S squared being the subject of the formula. So how do we get S? you find square root on both sides. Find square root. Let me write it like that. On both sides. On both sides. So find square root. So you get S is equals to square root of R squared minus P divided by R squared A. When you are finding square root, learner, the answer is either a positive or negative. So remember to fix those signs there. So your S is equals to positive or negative square root of all this. So learner, go and practice on how to make some letters the subject of the formula. God bless you.